This is Espa, you're watching BloodJuice Untapped.
I go straight dreams and I better go nasty on it. Coming out the gates blasting rockets, wait, I better went straight past in August. You can still hashtag I'm half the problem. I can still see you captured or dangerous. Pussy boy flow but you're sharing your pages. Yours sound the same, it's too hard to name you. Caging La Vega brothers, using Las Vegas. This is my accent, bitch, I'm a slogan. This is me rapping just like I'm Odin. This is me
When did Mitchos send you this track?
This was off our Silence album, so it was towards the end of last year, or would have been November, October, around October. I've been working with Mitchos Da Menace for since his first album, which was Straight Menace, No Chasers. He was he featured on one of my homies' tracks, Hijack. And that's how I kind of first heard of Mitchos. He was recording at home at that time. He was just like getting his shit together and that. And I sent through these vocals and I thought, fuck, this is pretty shit hot. I dug the vibe, and I finished the track. And then I think I may have hit Mitchos up just saying, hey man, really dig the verse that you did on Hijack's record. So cool, and that was kind of like it. And then after a while, he hit me up. He was like, yeah, cheers, thanks for that. I've got some songs that I want you to mix. And so then he started sending me through his files for the Straight Menace No Chasers record. And then he started doing a few tracks, had a few other features because he was rolling with Forte at large. Big up Forte, big up at large MGR. Got to also give the shout out to the homies. But then, and then it just kind of like evolved from that. And then I was like on the phone with Mitchos, and I'm like, look, dude, your shit's pretty hot. You should actually think about coming to the studio, start recording some stuff here. Step out of the bedroom and that. And he was like, let me do this first record, get this kind of over with, create a bit of a buzz, and then start recording. So I don't know. I've known him for a few years now, like 3-4 years.
Far out.
Yeah. So it's been a while, and ever since we've just been building that friendship, that relationship, and now we just work on real cool music together.
And has things taken a big turn since any tracks you've dropped with him, for you personally?
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah.
In the sense of it's definitely raised my status up as well, because he's quite popular with a whole different genre of people that I was kind of working with as well. But yeah, so it's the more people I work with, and definitely Mitchos is definitely helps my reputation, and I'm sure vice versa as well at some point, where do good work with him as well, and we make each other sound good, basically.
That's dope. I love that. Why is So Grimey? Why did you choose that of the tracks?
It was the vibe. I love the film clip more than anything.
Yeah.
Really loved the vibe of the film clip and the song. The vibe of the song was good. We had real instruments in it. We had violins. It's just it was a bit different to his other tracks on the album. And it's one that was popular.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Was there anything that really stood out to you with So Grimey?
The concept. Mitchos came to me about the concept of the track. It's he goes, when you listen to this track, think Asian, Chinese type of vibes. And that's where one of the main melodies came from. And that's probably why the film clip was also shot down in Chinatown.
Right, I like that.
Just starting to grab material for his next project.
That's dope. And when's that project dropping?
There's no specific release date yet for that. I probably would say it could be early next year, something like that. Or I hope it doesn't drop a bomb on me and go, hey man, let's do something by November. But we're in July now. Yeah. So I think it would be sort of early next year.
That's cool. And how long have you been mixing for personally?
Oh, I've been mixing a long time, dude. I'm self-taught for the most part. And then just to get myself out in the whole engineering world, the industry world, I studied at SAE, and then ended up working for 10 years teaching there as well. So I do a lot of teaching, kind of pulled back on the teaching buzz for now, just so I can focus on me more as an individual, and help push MGR as well as a label. So man, I've literally been my first record that I released that I was involved in was in 1994.
Far out.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Alright, so one of the main things with this track is the bells, right, of the track. That was like the most interesting kind of thing to mix. The bells and the violins as well. So one thing that when it came to the hook, everything, all the music dropped out, and all that we had left was just the bells. And it took me a while to figure out on what kind of effects and how to approach the mix of that. And I guess the one thing that I did come up with is getting this quirky Eventide plugin, the H9, which is like just like a it's almost like a granular delay type of effect, and it just creates weird sound effects and things like that. And then I was left still with a lot of space in the mix. So then the other thing that I thought of doing in the hook is like pitching his vocals down. Like I had a stack of backing vocals, and then I got the manipulator plug-in and just used the low pitch. It's just as simple as that. And that fills up a lot of space in where the instruments are pulled out. But then also, as part of a feature, a thing that we did for the verses is we have like these specific overdubs and ad-libs. Like we've got our normal backing vocals, but then we've got an extra stack of backing vocals where they happen in specific moments in the verse, to give it extra mood and extra flavor for the vocal production. And one thing that I did with that, which was cool, was use like the Altar Boy plugin and just change the format, just pitch his voice down a bit. So when those backing vocals came in, they really stood out in the mix and created that vibe.
I'm a slogan, this is me rapping just like I'm Odin. This is me stacking heads like a totem. You can get breath like I'm Logan. Bitch, I'm a slogan.
So it's slightly pitched down.
Heads like a totem.
And mix them into the
like
track.
Logan. Bitch, I'm a slogan. This is me rapping just like I'm Odin. This is me stacking heads like a totem. You can get slashed mid breath like I'm Logan.
Creates the vibe of the track. Alright, cool. So then, yeah, so that was interesting on trying to make the bass and the drums work. And because the bass is a sub bass, there's no real like upper, low, mid frequencies in the bass. So there's a lot of space in that track. So then the other thing is that, well, what do you do? What do you add to fill that space in? Sure, you got some vocals there, you know, but then we had the bells and then we had the strings. So what I did with the strings, the program strings and the live strings, is just push the low mids, where the bass would actually sit. I kind of pushed that on the strings, and then just use reverbs and parallel compressions to make them sit right. The other thing that I do with all my mixes is I'm really big on my analog emulation, my headroom. You know, we're in a digital world, forever kind of like chasing an analog sound. So one thing that I do is I mix with a lot of master faders. Like one has all the drums coming through it, and then I've got this extra channel strip on my drums, which makes it really pop. And then I just use analog emulation through Phoenix. They make really good analog emulations, and the UAD oxide tape, which it says disabled there, but you know, it works.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hip hop's very different from back then to now. It's much better now.
So have you always mixed hip hop?
Yes, hip hop's my main thing. I live and breathe it.
I love that.
Yeah.